Hi, this is Pappy from Pambu-lar, and today we're going to make the perfect lemon drizzle cake. So, step number one, turn the oven on so that it comes up to temperature whilst we actually do all the things. So it's saying we want to be at 180. 180. Unless you only got fan forced, then go 160. So cakes, if you got the choice, don't go fan forced, because that's just the cake thing. All right, so let's just go through the ingredients, shall we? We have 175 grams of butter. We have 175 grams of caster sugar. We have 75 grams of almond meal or ground almonds. We've got 100 grams of self-raising flour. You don't have to write this down. All the ingredients will be in the comments section. We also have some lemons, some eggs, a pinch of salt, a little bit of milk. We're not going to use all of that. We're just going to use some splashes and some demerara sugar. It's important that everything should be at room temperature. And we have a loaf tin. So this is a 1 kilo loaf tin, apparently. So that's been papered and it's been greased. So when it comes out, it'll just come out. It'll be wonderful. All right, so let's get started. Importantly, if you have one of these, you want to use one of those, not the whisk, because you don't want too much air in there because they will just rise and crack. So if you've got one of those, great. That's the one you want to use. Okay, let's go through these instructions. Preheated the oven, check. Grease and line the tin, check. Okay, so now we want to beat together the butter, caster sugar, and we want to finely grate zest a lemon. So, actually, I might just grab a knife. So start off, butter needs to go in. We should actually cut it up a little bit because the machine is not going to like it if it's too big. All right, so the butter's a little bit soft, as you can see, because it's kind of sticking to my hands, which is good. If it's come straight out of the fridge, we're going to be in trouble. So we want to make sure we get the whole lot, just because with a cake, you need to be precise. You can't have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's an exact science. So butter, caster sugar, and some lemon zest. So here's our 175 grams of caster sugar. Lemon zest, you need one of these magic zesty things. And when you zest the lemon, we just take off just the top surface. If you go any further, it becomes all bitter, and we don't want that. I could have prepared this earlier, but there's our lemon zest going in. If we want it nice and lemony, you want quite a bit of there. But just notice as we go around, we don't go deep at all because it becomes really bitter. So, just a bit there, just a bit there. Right, there it is all in. And start off slow, otherwise the sugar just explodes everywhere and you get a very messy kitchen. And so you just slowly bring it up to speed. So, beat together the butter, caster sugar, finely grained lemon zest until light and fluffy. a moment, get a spatula, there we go, there it is. Exciting. I'll just get a little bit off the sides because it's not quite light and fluffy yet. Let's go this way. I just need to move it off the sides just so that it can beat around and become light and fluffy. So, here we are. We're just waiting for it to become light and fluffy. It's getting there. It kind of all switched to the side, but as you can see, it's starting to become a little bit lighter in colour, which is sort of what we want it, the whole light and fluffiness. We want it to become, it becomes more of a pale yellow than the yellow that the butter first started off as. And sticking, look at that, it's starting to look a little bit more fluffy. Just going to get it off the walls again. We'll just go for a few more seconds. Sugary goodness. And then let's read ahead what needs to happen next while it comes up to light and fluffiness. But add a pinch of salt, believe it or not, and the eggs, one at a time. So that's important. You can't just put them all in at once. And that's well combined before adding the next egg. So you have to be nice and slow. So I think that's starting to become fluffy. It's actually quite sticking on the edges. But what's going to happen is as we put the eggs in, it's all going to start to come down. So it says, next thing was, here's our little pinch of salt. And I know it sounds weird to put salt into a cake, but it just brings out the flavours. So we have to add one egg at a time. Let's do it on this. Got to be careful, we don't want to get any shell in there. So it's one, and so we just start off, you beat the first egg in. You don't need to get it a lot, you just need it until it's all combined. And so what's happened, oops, is we just want to get it off the walls because the butter, as it was doing its first thing, go for egg number 2. And so now it's really starting to mix around there. We just want to go this until it's well combined before we add the next one. So as you can see, that is well combined. Go to the next one. No shell in there either, which is good. So that's all the eggs in, and we're just going to make sure that's nice and combined and all mixed through nicely. So we'll just give it another few seconds and we'll just read ahead. So what happens after this, we have to sift the flour in and just fold it in. We don't use the mixer, so this will be the last bit of the mixer. And so this is now coming, it's starting to combine quite well. We want to make sure we try and keep as much of the delicious goodness in there. And next we have to get a sifter and sift the flour in and sift and fold, followed by the almonds. So basically you just put the whole lot in. Oops. In goes the flour. Just make sure it all goes in. Now that this is self-raising flour, because we want it to rise when it bakes. So when you mix in the flour, you just do a folding sort of process, because we don't want to smash the mixture to oblivion. We don't want to over mix it. The flour just has to go in until it's just nicely combined. Get all the stuff off the edge. And almost there. So that's the flour. And so there's no dry bits in there, which is good. And now we just go for the almond meal and we just throw the whole lot in, and then we go through the same sifting process again. It's quite a lot of almond meal. And once again, you just do the fold process where you sort of go under and over, and just want to mix it all until it combines. This is very exciting. So the almond meal gives it a funny texture, doesn't it? It's not the smooth yellow that we started off with. You can see that that is getting all quite mixed in together nicely. Right, I think that's probably folded enough. We don't want to over mix it, because one of the things you never want to do with a cake is over mix. And after the almond meal and that, they're saying we just want to make sure it's nice, sort of a fluidy consistency. So they're saying add just enough milk to bring the mixture to a dropping consistency so it falls off the spoon. Because at the moment, it's all stuck. So you just add a little bit of milk, and we'll try that, see how that goes. And same thing, just this folding action. So you go from underneath to top. And that's become a little bit softer, but it still doesn't come off yet. So add just a little bit more milk. And then same thing again. Fold and fold and fold. And I think this is starting to make sure that everything gets folded all the way through. So whatever sticks to the spoon, you've got to remove sometimes, just so that it becomes part of the mixture. Fold some more. you have to get it to a point where it just sort of drips off, which is not quite there. We're getting close. We might just have to use the whole lot. All right, let's go again. Yummy, delicious. Let's go the last little bit, and I reckon this should be enough. I hope. Just make sure you get it all off the walls, off the pot of the mixing bowl. When they say a little bit of milk, interesting to see how much a little bit of milk is until you get it to drop-in consistency. Well, it's kind of, do we think that's okay? I think we might need some more. Just another little splash. Just another drop. If that's not enough, I'll be amazed. Starting to soften up now. You can really start to see it. My arm's starting to get a bit tired now. How's this looking? Well, it's starting to drip. Do you think that's enough? Maybe we should have some more. One more drop? All right. That's not too much. But you have to be very light-handed. No, this should be good. Yeah, it's starting to happen now. Is it? That could be there. What do you think, kids? All right, so let's just make sure it's all off the walls of the bowl. Now here we go. We put it in to our already. It's already got the paper in there, which has been grease-proofed, and we just spoon it in. You want to get the whole lot in. It's very exciting. I hope this turns out well. Need to get it all in. And then one of the things, the other thing it says in the recipe is delish. It says we want a nice sort of flat surface, so you just sort of spread it out. Doesn't have to be perfect because it will sort of melt as you get into the oven. It doesn't really keep the shape that you make here, but you just have to get it into all the edges so that as the thing expands and grows in the oven, it grows in a sort of consistent way. There we go, I think that should do it. Pop that in there. So there we go. Here's the oven. And make sure the temperature's right. It's at 180 because it's not fan forced. Pop it right in the very middle. Oops, that's hot. Put it in and hopefully in a few minutes we're going to have a cake. Hang on, I'll just check how long it's going to be. It says 50 to 55 minutes. So set your timer, 50 to 55 minutes, go, and we'll come back and we'll see how it goes. So 50 minutes has gone past, so let's have a look, shall we? Come on in. We've had some rise. Put in the skewer. Skewer comes out clean. So that's it, it's done. So we need to get an oven mitt, or if you don't have an oven mitt, whatever you've got that is nice and solid. Oops. It's going to work very well. Now we didn't get a lot of rise here. I mean, it looks good, but I was hoping it was going to rise right up here. Grandma from Pambu-lar thinks that I didn't mix the butter long enough because it should really be white, but it looks good. So the instructions say, so I think what needed to happen, we should have mixed the butter for a lot longer. I didn't want to do it because this is on video and I haven't got a lot of material to talk about for all that time, so we'll do that next time. But it smells delicious. So the instructions say when it comes out, poke holes all over the top of the warm cake, and then we have to pour on the drizzle. So that's really hot. So we can just leave that there for the moment. So we have to make the drizzle. So this is what we got to do. We have our sugar, the demerara sugar. This is all scientifically measured. We have that. Now we need the zest of a lemon. This one's quite green, but it doesn't matter. It's all delicious. Organic lemon, which is kind of important because we're taking off the peel, and if it's not organic, that means you've got pesticides on there and they're waxy and you just don't get all the delicious lemon flavour. Same as before, when you zest, you really only just take the top surface. If you go any deeper, it becomes all bitter. There's a little bit over there. All right, I think that's quite a bit of zest. So we'll go in there. Now we need the juice of 2 lemons. So, oops. That's half a lemon. I want to get out as much as possible. Look at all that lemony goodness. Oh my God, this is a lot of lemon. Do we really need 2? The smell of lemon is just amazing. I love lemon. I like all things lemony. I think we're going to have a lot of lemon drizzle in this. Oops. So, almost there. It's amazing how much more you get when you just squeeze out just at that end bit. Here's the last bit. Look at all that lemony goodness. Now that thing is full of pips and all sorts of things, so it's a good idea just to use a strainer. Just so that we don't get any pips in there. So we just tip all of that in. And we just need to mix to combine so that we get a nice little lemon sugary oh my God. This is probably too much lemon juice. Look at that. The instructions say juice of both of the lemons. So, yep, that's a lot of lemon. With the demerara sugar and once mixed, we just pour it all over the cake. So we want it a little bit mixed. It doesn't have to be really. Yep, I think we're getting there. Making a mess here. All right. So, back to our little unrisen cake. So the idea is poke lots of holes in it so that when you tip this over, it helps it soak in. Got to be careful, but the tin is still quite hot. And then so we just pour it all over. It just has to go all over it. Part of the instructions say that when you put it over, you just give it a little bit of time for it to soak in before you go for the next bit, because you don't want it building up too much. Look at that sugar. This is going to be very lemony and very sugary, which is delicious. It's important that while you do these things, you poke your tongue out, because that's a sign of concentrating. I'm just going to put a few more little holes in there just to make sure that as we go, the next bit does also soak up into the cake, because you want it all inside. Yum and delicious. Oh, the smell of lemon is amazing. And this is so much lemon. This is going to be... Oops. Just give that a little moment to soak. You'll let it soak in before you go for the next bit. Just give that another sort of minute to soak in. You can see it all soaking in. It's all because of the holes we put in. That is so much lemon. That is going to be, look at that. And the smell of the lemon coming off is amazing. I'm so excited. I can't wait for this to cool down, and then we can cut it open and have a look and see how delicious it is. I can't wait. My stomach can't wait. So we're back and it's cooled down, and can you see this? The sugar has all crystallized and it's all looking very delicious. Lemony goodness. So we just take it out. This is going to be awkward. Oh no, it's coming out nicely. Yeah, we didn't get much rise on this one. Just like a bought one. But it smells delicious. Let's have a look to see how it came out. Look at that. It's a little bit dense, but I think it's all right. But look at all that crystalline. That is lemony deliciousness. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed the how to make the most perfect lemon cake. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe.